What is up, my dogs? Look at this, empty garage. Been having my truck in the garage for the last week now. I was able to get it cleaned up. So this is what we're going to be doing today. But I want to show you something that is miraculous. I went to go get one of my crucibles for a melt one time. And look what I forgot about. Got a big bag of keys and a lot of brass in here. It's heavy. So we're gonna get into it. I'm not going to separate it all out, but I want you to see the kind of stuff that I have in this bucket and the fact that there are an absolute ton of screws in here, and all of these screws are from outlet switches. These are from like power strips, that kind of thing. Outlet switches that I've got brackets and these kinds of things here. A lot of good brass in here, and it's heavy. That's the red brass right there. Well, this is getting frustrating. My last one, my last forge was starting to freeze up right down here, this whole piece. It's never done that before. So I bought a new one. This is the new one, and it's doing it again. In fact, it's also freezing up down here and even down the hose a little bit. So I don't know what's going on, but this is frustrating. I tried to do this melt 2 weeks ago, and I had to stop and to wait for this new one to come in, and then I got sick. And now here we are again, and I got to stop again. I took some pictures, and I'm going to send it into Devil Forge and see what they have to say. Can't melt today. Okay, today's the day. Okay, we all know that I've had some issues with this sucker freezing up, and I was thinking it was these things. After a lot of discussion on my old forge, which ended up having the same problem as my new forge, and I have had a lot of people tell me that they think it's because this tank is overfilled, or there might be something else wrong with it. So I'm going to use a different tank. I think this one's empty up here. It's got some in it. This one I believe was filled at the same time as this one. So I'm going to try that one, I guess. So we'll see. It's been a month at least since I've first run into this problem, and I've held off just because if it doesn't work, changing tanks doesn't work, I'm just going to get all frustrated and all that. But because it gets dark at night, I don't really have time to do it during the week. So the weekend is the time. Today's Saturday. I've got no excuses. It's colder than heck out here right now. Let's go see what the temperature is. 34 degrees. So yeah, it's a little nippy, but we gotta do it, man. We gotta try to figure this out. So cross your fingers with me. Also, hopefully you guys can appreciate my fixable dilemma, but in order to get my melting cart out, I gotta get this scrap metal into my truck, and then I remember I got a bunch of crap in my truck that I gotta get out for this to fit in. So it's a whole thing. I just brought in a fan that I need to break down. Got that from work. And then these are super cool. These are actually carts with casters for a 55-gallon drum. If you look at this label on here and see who makes these, you will see that they sell for $299.99. They're heavy. I bet each one of these is like 40 pounds. And I got them for sale for 50 bucks on Marketplace. I haven't had anybody buy any yet. But I'm going to bring them in. And I don't have the clearance for this one to use it. But I'll put that barrel that has my wire on this cart. It'd be nice to be able to roll it around a little bit. So just so you guys know, I've got 25 of those. If anybody wants one, well, I don't know how I would do that actually. I mean, I can't imagine what the shipping would be. But I mean, I don't even know what size box I would put it in or anything. But anyway, I mean, I'd even do 25 bucks for it and then like allow 25 for shipping or something, but I don't know if that would cover it. Anyway, if you're interested, maybe we can figure something out, but I gotta empty the truck. I've tried to melt this twice now. keep track of, and this will happen fairly quickly, is whether this ice is up or whether this ice is up. If it doesn't, and it happened within like the first 3 minutes of me running this thing, so we should know pretty quickly. Fingers crossed, everybody. And once again, it's good to keep in mind that I had 2 different furnaces do the exact same thing, my old one and my new one, and the common denominator is that was this propane tank down here. Now for my old one, the only frosting I was getting was on this piece right here. It wasn't doing it on that one, but on my new one it happened on both ends. So that's the only difference between the two. Okay, everything looks good so far. Okay, so now my next question is, if we find out that that tank is bad, I guess I could still use it for heat because it's running my propane heater right now. If it wasn't, I wonder if I could take that propane tank back, and would they take it back? I don't know, I've never run into that before. Let me know if you've had any experience with that. But yeah, as of right now, everything looks good, and I might be pouring some brass here pretty soon, which is fantastic. And why is that fantastic? Well, look at that. And then I have a bunch of cans in there, and then if you look back here, I've got cans coming out of my wazoo, and there's other stuff I need to melt too. So yeah, this is definitely frozen up by now last time, and everything looks good. Oh yeah, baby. Trying to think what molds I should use. The real small ones don't work too good with brass, because brass is it's not too fluid. It doesn't pour very well. I would like to have just some bars, just start stacking bars, and maybe I could do a sculler metals round. Oh look, I just noticed that that R right there is broken out. Huh. Okay, well, it goes to the back. This one's still good. You can see that's a really small area, so if it gets pinched too hard by a certain metal, it could break out of there. I have a lot of skulls already. But when it comes to stacking for my retirement, having some nice bars would be awesome. I usually run this on 0.1, which shows you how much gas you're using. I backed off on it because we're getting a little zinc oxide smoke coming out of here. You're going to get that when you melt brass anyway, but it just seems like a little more than what I normally see. Still no frosting. Okay, so I've got this container of brass slag. I also have pieces like this. I'm gonna get those out of the way for now. Then I want to get this brass slag in there. It's pretty heavy. It'll add to my amount. That is nice and liquidy right now. Doesn't look like it, but it is. So let's get this all in. So we have enough to pour. I really would like to get 2 bars. I forgot I'm using a really big crucible right now too, so I think once I put this in, I'm going to have more than enough for 2 bars. Oh, yeah, that looks copper, but it's got brass on it too. That's why that's in there. Because you can get copper in brass, but you can't get brass in copper. There we go. Oh, she's full. Turn this back on. I tell you, man, if that all, when that all melts, it's gonna be pretty heavy. I put this away because I didn't think I'd have enough for 2 bars, but I think I will now that I put that in there. Then I got those few pieces on the ground that I need to do yet. Okay, we're getting some nice liquidy brass in there. Now we want to put these final pieces in. These are the pieces that came out of like what do you call it? Extension. I can't remember what they're called. Plug of some kind. I can't tell you how pumped I am about this. I am so back. Running out of propane in this tank, which is why I had it set aside, because I think I had thought that I had used most of it up. But we'll scoop this, get most of this out of here. You can see that some of these little bits and pieces are steel. They're not melting. And of course, if you put steel in brass, the steel will melt, or will come right to the surface. It cannot be sunk. That's why you never have to worry too much about there being something on the bottom. Ooh, boy. Need to get my longer spoon because my hands are burning. Okay, so I got most of this. And now I'm going to turn this back on just to heat my molds, and then we're going to pour. Ooh, yeah, she's heavy, all right. That is some beautiful brass right there, my friends. Let's see if we can get another one of these or two. Pouring very nicely, like water. It's exactly what you hope it'll do. Come on now. Not wanting to come out. Uh-oh. There we go. Aw. I'll tell you what. Okay, so everything else hardened up in there. I'm really out of breath, but I think it's just because I'm excited. Okay. Gonna let that sit for a minute and cool off. You need to get these crucibles to cool off slowly. And when it's 32 degrees out here, it is not cooling off slowly. So I gotta get this dust and stuff out of here and then put it back in the forge where it's warm. That's what I wanted to get out right there. Big piece of copper or brass, I mean. There we go. Get this back in the forge. Let's see if these will come out now. There we go. Oh, man, are those nice too. Solid chunks. And these might be my best brass rounds. Sculler metal rounds. Channel rounds, as I like to call them. Alright, let's cool them off. Yeah. This one's the gold standard right there. And this one looks really nice too. Wow, probably better than the other one. I just poured it too fast so I can trim that off. But man, that one is awesome. That is going to clean up so nice. And then my retirement bars. Boy, those are beauties. Okay, I got some more organizing to do, but what I did is I took my shred bucket right here and I put it right here because I needed to put it on these casters. If I put the bucket or the barrel on the casters, it wouldn't fit under here anymore because it would be too tall. So I figured I'd bring some of the buckets that were over here, under here, put my chair right there, which used to be over here, where this bucket is now. I moved my wire bucket, which was over there, here. I mean, why should I have to keep walking so far? I don't do anything with those two things there, my pressure washer and generator. A couple of things I still haven't found a place for is my old Devil Forge, which apparently still works now that we know that today. I got to get the copper off this thing because that's been taking up some space. I've had it for probably 2 years at least. and I was trying to sell it on eBay and it didn't sell. So that's kind of where we are. I think it's a little more organized. Oh, and by the way, I used to have a #1 copper bucket right here, but I hardly ever get #1 copper. Usually it's only #2. So I took another couple buckets that were down here and some crap, and I put it in this spot right here, keeping my Bear Bright right there and stuff I need to rework. I mean, it's still a mess, but I think we're in a little better spot than we were. I got to get these pans. I guess just stuff kind of that I have to deal with here. But a work in process, but I think it's better. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out. We will see you on the next one.